our faces mature, the volume on our lips changes, the definition changes, and the texture changes. And that doesn't mean we stop wearing lipstick. It just means that we have to be a little bit more careful about the placement of the lips and what products we use. So today I'm going to share with you what happens when we don't follow those small adjustments and we use a product that's maybe the wrong shade, the wrong formula, or the wrong placement. And that way you can see the difference. So what I'm going to do is on one side of my face, I'm going to apply the product the right way. And then on the other side of my product, I'm going to apply it the wrong way. I'm going to use like the same shade, but the formula is going to be different. And that way you can see, okay, this color works for me, but it's this formula that doesn't work for me. So you're not thrown off, because if you're using a matte lipstick and you have, a lot of texture on your lips, it's just going to find every little crease and crevice on your lips, and it's going to travel in places that you really don't want it to travel to. Okay, so the time of this filming, my lips are very dry. It's the end of January. And what I did is I already put lip balm on this side of my lips, but I didn't put any on this side of my lips. This is one of the most common mistakes that I see women making, is not using a lip product either at night or just exfoliating any of the dead skin cells that are laying on the surface of your lips. And that will just throw off whatever product you're using on your lips. It will just completely throw the lips off, and it'll draw attention there, and it'll just look uncomfortable, and it will feel uncomfortable. So what I did is I applied this here. This is the Adam lip balm, and like I said, I put it on this side of my lips here. This is a long-wearing lip product here. It's a beautiful shade. I use it all the time for women who do like long-wearing products, and it's a lip pencil that comes with it. And then on the other side, I'm going to be using a formula that I love and that I use all the time in my lips, because it's a very hydrating balm, and it just looks so much better on my lips. So I think what happens a lot is we'll go into like an Ulta or Sephora, and we'll see a shade like this shade here, which is a pretty common shade, and we think, oh, that's so pretty, that'll look so nice on my lips. But what happens is the formula is all wrong. This is a long-wearing matte lipstick, which will just make your lips look very dry, and it'll just kind of settle into any fine lines, and we don't want that. But on the other hand, if we go in there and we look for a product that's the same shade, but it's a balm, that will just lay on the lips, and it'll be so much more forgiving than the matte formula. I think number one is going in there with a lip pencil and drawing on the lips perfectly, because you really want it to look more defined. So now you can see how defined that looks. But what we really should be doing is taking a lip pencil, okay, this is just about the same shade, and laying it flat against our lips, like so, and just really feathering it in very lightly. And then if it does get too pencil-y looking, I just take my finger, my ring finger, and just kind of dab that in there, so it looks very soft and blended. Then taking a long-wearing lip product and going in there. It doesn't look too bad, but once this dries, it's going to find every little crease and crevice on my lip. What I like to do is go in and use a balm that's pretty much the same shade, right? They're about the same. Let me see if you can see those colors. They're about the same color, right? And this is a lip plumping balm, and go in and very lightly fill it in, and then take off any excess with my finger. Or you could even go in there with a tissue and sort of dab it off. And my lips are quite dry, so I do apologize. Now, you can see the difference, right? This side here, like, it just looks much heavier and crunchier looking, as opposed to the other side, where it looks a little bit more hydrated and not as, it's not settling. It is in the fine lines, but you can't really see it as well. And this side is just really accentuating any of those fine lines that I have above my lip here. Both beautiful products, both the same shade, but the formula, if it's not right, then it's just going to throw your lips off completely. Okay, so next I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you what happens when we use the wrong shade. But if I go in and use something that's maybe a shade or two darker, that has a balmier texture to it, like this product here, okay, it has a little bit more pigment in it, so it's going to brighten my face up, as opposed to having it look like it's too washed out. Then I'm going to take this satin formula. Can you see the difference? How one side looks like it's washed out and the other side looks like it's a little bit more lifted, and my face looks a little bit more balanced. So this one doesn't really draw a lot of attention, but it doesn't do anything at all. It just makes me look tired. So applying a full strength color can really like overwhelm the lips. So don't think so much, Shade, think more depth. Like if I use this, start off with using very little and then build from there, because it may not be the shade that's off, it just may be the amount of product that you're applying. So crisp, sharp lines used to be the goal. Softening the edges keeps the focus on balance and not so much hard lines. When the depth is too intense, it's going to visually pull the face down, and what we're trying to do is to create harmony within the face. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with your lips. We're just looking to do a little bit more softer of an approach when it comes to applying our lip products. If you want to see how I apply lip products now for a natural, balanced looking face, I'm going to leave that video link down below.